Hey, all right. We're about to get started on this.
All right.
Hold on. Okay, just had to set the music in. Oh my God! Is that the Ruby-chan? Oh
Hello.
my God! Oh my God! Oh my! Hi.
Hi. Hello.
And then, hey, welcome in. Tonight's Black Creator guest goes out to Miss Ruby Chan. This very amazing, wonderful heart, successful creator, got almost 4K followers on Twitch. Oh my God, you are a millionaire. You probably have two Lamborghinis right now.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
No, that's how it works, right? You just get 4,000 followers and then you own a mansion. Like that.
I
That's
mean, if that is how it works, I'm missing my mansion. I need it located.
no, but like you, it's still, whether or not you consider that to be a lot, it's still amazing to even have that fan or that audience, because it's just so competitive. It's so overpopulated, or however you want to say it on Twitch.
Say, at least for my following, I feel like it's pretty much like the standard how it is in general nowadays. Like everyone thinks you have like 4, 5, 6,000 followers. A lot of people think you're gonna have like hundreds and hundreds of people viewing. It's not always like that.
Yeah.
I want to say I average around up until recently it was about like 15 to 30 people like on my own before raids counting.
Okay. Well, regardless, you still have much success there yourself. I know a lot of it could be DVD, hence the poster in the background. A lot of people know you from playing Dead by Daylight,
Mhm.
and that's gotten you to organizations. But before we even get into all that, how did it start for you to be a content creator?
Funny enough, it's something I like wanted to do like as a hobby always. It's not something I ever wanted to do like lifelong or like something I want to do full time. It is something that I really wanted to do as a hobby. Especially when I was younger, like when I was growing up, I have my favorite YouTubers to watch, like Dashi XP and Corey X Kenshin. And then I remember finding out about Twitch, and I feel like more so I prefer Twitch over YouTube just for the simple fact of even though it's not obviously face to face, but you have like that face to face interaction, and I feel like I enjoy talking to people straight up, like kind of like a conversation more than like pre recorded stuff. So I found my home at Twitch, especially when I've had friends that wanted to play games with me and they couldn't necessarily watch it if they weren't like a PlayStation party user with me. So I was streaming on Twitch. And for me doing that, I kind of just slowly started doing it more and more and started kind of getting my footing. And now I kind of do it a lot more often than before.
Okay. Now, when you say more often, when did you decide that, what, I'm just gonna pursue streaming, or what does streaming currently mean for you right now?
For me, again, it's more so like a hobby. I've always enjoyed playing video games growing up. So like it's something I always want to do when I have like the spare time to do so. I definitely want to say around 2021 when I kind of learned more so how streaming works and like the equipment that was needed. I finally like hunkered down and said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. And it's been a really wonderful journey so far, honestly.
Yeah, that's that is amazing. Because you deserve to have a good experience, and I know like it could be tough and exhausting, overwhelming to even at the mindset of just being a content creator.
Mhm.
I mean, do you imagine to be getting to where you are right now?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I never thought I'd make it to the point I am now. I never thought I would. I felt
Why
like
is
I would
that?
probably. I felt like I would just maybe be in a sense of where maybe my friends would be watching me, and that was enough for me. As long as like my friends enjoyed my content, that was my happiness. But just seeing people actually like interacting with me, finding my streams, and actually enjoying the content that I provide, it did make me feel good to provide content for like more people than just like my very close like friend.
That's good. Um, do you and was all of the would you say all of like your friend group, all of that like came or spawned from loving Dead by Daylight, or did you look at Dead by Daylight as this is a popular game, I need to get into something that would get you me views? Not everybody thinks that way, but you know.
For me, I have been playing Dead by Daylight since the very first day it dropped on console. Like the very first day. I didn't have a PC when the game originally first came out in 2016, so I had to wait for the console drop. But it's a game I've played continuously from the first day it came out on console. I did end up taking like a year and a half break before I started streaming, but then when I got back into the game, I've always loved Dead by Daylight. When I said I would start streaming, it was not the main game I wanted to stream, but it was definitely like one of the top three I wanted to stream. So Dead by Daylight was definitely like in my like top, like I had to stream it, not because of like it's just like the popular game, but I personally did just enjoy the game in general. I loved it. It was like one of my favorite games during the time when I started streaming, and it still is.
Okay. What is it about Dead by Daylight that kind of stands out for you than any other game?
Honestly, I think it's for its time when I first started playing it, there was like besides Friday the 13th, there was no other game like Dead by Daylight. And I felt like Dead by Daylight kind of gave a more not immersive, but a more different experience compared to Friday the 13th, which I did, of course, love Friday the 13th. But I just felt a lot more appeal to Dead by Daylight and like seeing how it could evolve compared to Friday the 13th. Because obviously, Friday the 13th, it's a good game, of course, it was a good game, but it was just, tailored around Jason. With Dead by Daylight, obviously can see like how much it could have expanded with what they gave from when the game came out and like how they could make it much bigger than it is, which is what happened.
Okay. Well, when I say that, I actually don't just mean like asymmetrical live service games. I mean like games in general. Because even I would say, if somebody were to even look at your channel, they say, okay, Dead by Daylight. But occasionally you also play Silent Hill, Marvel Rivals, Life is Strange, and we'll get into like co-working and the studying part. But like, why does Dead by Daylight just stand out in general for you?
Honestly, I feel like everyone can agree with me when I say this. Dead by Daylight is a game, no matter how much it irritates you, it's just always something that's going to bring you back. I think for me, the ceiling factor was all the different like horror icons that the game started collecting over time. I think that's what solidified with me, like kind of staying. Because obviously, once a game grabs you, it grabs you, but it needs a factor to keep you. And I feel like that was like the point for me.
So you would consider yourself a horror fan, or at least that's your primary go-to?
Yeah, not like die hard horror, but growing up, I did like always enjoy watching like horror films.
Okay. Okay. Do you consider doing like horror movie watch parties, or it's just like I'll just play horror games? Not just Dead by Daylight, but again mentioning Silent Hill, and other horror games.
I've done a few watch parties in my Discord before. It's something that I've discussed with my moderators that I kind of want to do more often. But we haven't just necessarily done horror. One movie we did not too long ago was Orphan, but then we also like binge watch anime. So like it's a wide variety when it comes to like watch parties in my Discord when we have the time to do it.
Okay, that's awesome. Um, so besides that, so when people go to your channel, what do they expect? Like, say someone's never heard of Ruby Chan before. What is she about?
I scream a lot. That's the first thing I
You
tell anyone
scream a
that
lot?
yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God! You know
Whenever
I.
anyone raids me, the first thing I tell any raider that comes in, if you need to turn my volume down, turn my volume down because I don't know what an inside voice is.
Oh, do you live by yourself or do you have like other people with you?
No, I have roommates.
Oh dear, do they come in and tell you to shut the?
No, they do not. The way we have it set, I have the entire basement level to myself, and they are upstairs. So.
Oh gosh, I wish I had that because if I get too loud, I get too loud. There's family members come and go like, you need to keep it down. Inside voice.
Yeah,
Inside voice.
I get it. It was the same way when I lived with my mom. I definitely I don't miss it.
I don't think you would want to. So anybody who is loud, do they is there advice for that? Do they have like is there like soundproof panels? Like what do they do in that situation?
No one in here, at least from what I know, has soundproof panels. I've never opted in using them per se, but I'm like not against it. But it's more so something that I feel like if you feel like you know you're going to be in a situation when you have people coming in and they're just like, hey, you're very loud. I'm not against anyone using like soundproofing panels. I just don't have any suggestions because I've never used them.
Mm, okay. Okay. Well, that's good. At least you have that. At least you have that. You don't have anyone making a special appearance to tell.
Yeah.
Okay, lucky you. Um, okay. I mean, besides being, you would say is loud like your main trait, or like okay, I'm loud, but I'm also this.
it's it's definitely the main thing because again
Okay.
I warn everybody, but there is a lot more to me than just obviously being loud. I do try to have like a very welcoming and open space to the LGBTQIA, very 420 friendly. I just want to have a space where people feel comfortable and feel safe to be in, and just have a place where people are like having a hard day, and my streams is just what makes them feel better.
Hi, Purple Dragon 19. How you doing?
That's
Uh,
my lifelong best friend. Hi, Tiff. I've
hi,
known her since I
hi.
was 11.
Oh, since 11. Oh my
Yes.
God. Oh my God. Longtime besties. That's an amazing
Yeah.
thing to have. That's an amazing thing to have. You should cherish that because that doesn't happen all the time.
It
But
doesn't.
um Ruby Chan. Okay, with the duck. Okay. Um but and thank you for the follow, Purple Dragon 19. Okay. So on that, do you? Because this is something that I don't think a lot of content creators get asked that. Does being loud necessarily make an importance of being entertaining?
Honestly, it does not. It doesn't. You don't have to be loud to get an audience, honestly. Like
Right.
in my personal opinion, I feel like for some people it works, and then for some people it just doesn't.
Yeah. So if someone looks at you as like, I want to get Ruby Chan success, let me scream in the mic. No, that does not work.
No, it doesn't work that way. No.
um, yeah. That tends. Yeah. Yeah, because I see that a lot. Is like the main
I
thing
feel
to be
like
funny
if
is to
it's
be
already
loud.
like part of your personality, like if that's just you in general, then
Yeah,
do it. But like don't try to be something like you're not just because you see
yeah,
somebody else doing it.
yeah. No, definitely, definitely. Um, you mentioned that you want to try to make your community LGBTQ friendly. What are some specific things about that you go about trying to make them feel welcome?
Honestly, I don't necessarily take like certain steps to like for people to just come in. I just have a space where it doesn't matter if you are straight. It doesn't matter if you like both genders.
Yeah,
I just have an open space for people to just come and feel welcome. It doesn't matter what you like.
yeah.
To an extent, I will say I'm
To
gonna
an
get this off my
extent.
chest.
Uh oh.
I'm gonna
Uh
I'm gonna
oh.
get this off
Uh
my
oh.
chest.
Uh oh.
If you support
Hoops,
Trump, that's the only people not welcome in my chat.
Oh
That's it.
no! You know what? I'm sorry. This interview is
That's
gonna have
it.
to. Hoops. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to move to X. Hoops. There's some streamers. No, I don't.
Oh, everything okay there?
You know what? I think my Quadcast X supports Trump. I'm gonna have a talk with it because no, I'm
Oh.
kidding. No. I accidentally hit the wrong chord. Um, no. Well, see, I'm not. Because the way how I even work about this, because I've had hundreds of interviews with amazing black creators, and I've already kind of talked a good length about racism and how things are both in this world and also in the gaming space. I mean, I don't make any of my guests go through that conversation, but again, this is for you to speak your mind out on anything, and especially with that. All I can just say is that we're living in a space where now that's kind of more included,
Hmm.
and I'm sure. Well, do you feel welcome in as far as like Dead by Daylight? Do you feel like Dead by Daylight supports you? Not just you loving the game, but just the community and the whole aspects of Dead by Daylight. Do you feel like it is supportive of people like you, or does some of that sort of prejudice kind of um, goes into that community sometimes?
I definitely could say, at least from my like the things I've been through, I can definitely say the community definitely does like support me, especially when it comes
That's
to
good.
serious things. I have had my share of like prejudice situations within the community of like people attacking me just because of my skin color, but
Mm.
that happens, of course, outside of that as well. So it's nothing new for me.
Okay. And do you when in those sort of circumstances, like do you usually like have mods or ways to kind of protect yourself from these, trolls and people being hateful in that sort of circumstance?
I do. Purple Dragon in your chat is actually one of my mods, and
That's
my
good.
moderators, I can say they do not play about me.
They
Any
do not
sus
play.
thing that happens in my chat, I already know they're gonna start dropping eyeballs and start dropping little notepad emotes. My mods stay ready.
That's good. I love that. Um, yeah, because I've seen like I'm glad that there is that positive support overall, because I've even seen it from things like I mean, even talking about the groups that you're part of, Sisters of the Fog, Femmes of the Fog. Now I know those groups aren't always like about Dead by Daylight, but there are people in that group that play Dead by Daylight. You can see there's kind of almost like a linked community, and it's definitely, as far as like horror games go, is definitely popular and inclusive. So um, no, I'm happy that it's definitely it is doing a lot for you, whether just being a fun game or even just helping you out with your content.
Thank you.
But do you feel like it's the game that makes the content, or it's the you? Like, if you were to just not play Dead by Daylight, would it mean any different to you?
I feel like it's a pretty even mix of both. There are going to be those people who they scroll through the Dead by Daylight tab and they're just looking for random people, and maybe you're just happen to be the one that they click on. But while they're in the Dead by Daylight content and now they're watching you, now it also comes up to you to provide the content to keep them to stay. Obviously, they love the game, but what's going to make them stay is what you provide for them. 100%. It's an
Okay.
even mix of both.
Okay. That is, that is awesome. Oh, sorry, man. I don't know why I'm getting burps. Maybe it's because of the water, the
You're fine.
H2O. how do you how do you burp?
Oh,
Um.
I just do it randomly. It just comes out. We have this thing where anyone in my VC burps and we all say nice, good, we rate it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean you review burps?
Mhm.
Okay, that's new. I think. Wait.
Yep.
So what would be a 10 out of 10 burp?
It has to be a very, very long and deep one.
Okay. I'll put research on that. Um. Okay. Well, even on Dead by Daylight, like Dead by Daylight's even expanded to like I think there's like a dating game. There's like a quick time event game.
hmm
Do you get into like all that other stuff of Dead by Daylight, or just stick with the main game?
I've tried Hooked on You. While I definitely appreciate what they did try to do, I feel like me personally, it's a lot more reading compared to like the actual like romantic aspect of it. So
Oh.
I didn't get into it too long, unfortunately. I did appreciate them like trying something different though, because I it definitely did make me want to check it out. It's Dead by Daylight. But beyond that, I haven't tried any of the other stuff besides obviously Dead by Daylight Mobile.
Okay, so let's say you were to make a dating sim Dead by Daylight game. How would you make it more romantic?
Less talking, more
Less
action.
talking, more action. Oh,
Not that kind of action.
you know what?
They
Okay.
talk too much.
Okay, you know what? No, I'm not gonna. See. I was gonna see. I was gonna. I have a cat like just sitting down there. I don't want to like pick her up because then she starts moving around and.
Aww.
I was like.
Not that kind of action. Not no. But like more opportunities to like take the killer on a date. More opportunities to like have like personal one-on-one times with like in-depth questions. It was just like a lot of talking and a lot of like it's story, but not like enough romantic stuff, you know?
Okay, so build your own uh, Dead by Daylight romance. How would you set up the scene? Like what would it be about?
Oh. Hold up. I didn't expect this. Okay, wait. Okay. All right. It would have to be on my favorite map,
Okay.
which is RPD before the changes. When the current RPD now, how it is in 2v8, it has to be like that. Because there are many different areas you can explore there, right? It has to be with a killer you really, really like. Now, I love Spirit because I'm a Spirit main. So we're just gonna pretend I'm a male right now. That would be
Okay.
my target. It would be Spirit.
Okay.
We will not talk about her backstory because it is very triggering.
Mm.
I would do things to make her not think about her backstory.
Mm.
So yeah, just like little cute romantic things though. Like we can walk around the RPD, check out the library, check out the office, like something really nice and simple.
Okay. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. Well, no, I'm actually. All right. Well, maybe you can go on DeviantArt and see all the. um. Okay. So, when you are not playing Dead by Daylight, how do you personally like to mix things up when you're not on that
So
game?
when I'm not playing Dead by Daylight, it's kind of more so just what I'm feeling at the moment. Besides Dead by Daylight, it is my favorite like multiplayer game, but I do also like to enjoy like single player games and other multiplayer games. Like besides Dead by Daylight, before the game even came out, my favorite multiplayer game was Overwatch. And my
Mm.
favorite single player game, which is currently still to this day, is Persona 5 Royale. And then behind that, The Walking Dead Telltale. So like I do enjoy like variety 100%, but again, like I said earlier, it's just that one thing that like Dead by Daylight has that just always like kind of sucks me back in. But I do like occasionally enjoy playing other games and like even just story based games. I really do like story based games. If it has like a really good story that reels you in and is very entertaining with a good amount of action, I'm all for it.
Okay. That's cool. Because I have been I was watching some of your streams, and yeah, I know, even though we focus a lot on Dead by Daylight, because that has that's a lot for you. I mean, you can even just look at your room. You got a bunch of you get posters and stuff, like,
Hmm.
which is cool. Like that to be um to really love a game and to have it kind of grow with you on your content, because that's sometimes that's how it is. You stick with that game,
It's more
and
than just a room though. Here, look, hold up.
just a room, tattoos. All right, Hoops. I gotta get. We have to stay pure. Hoops. We have to stay pure. Hoops. No tattoos. No tattoos on your tail. Hoops. No tattoos. No tattoos on your tail. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Okay, good. I don't even know how that works, so I'm not even gonna ask. um, I'm I'm exaggerating and being goofy. I mean, I played. um, okay, well, but besides even games, so the other thing is like you even have co-working, or it's labeled as co-working and studying.
Hmm.
So, um, what? So how does co-working and studying, just that label, sort of uh, play a part into like the type of content? Like what is it about co-working and studying that you find, at least, to kind of be beneficial to you as a creator?
So I'm gonna be honest. I 100% do not find it beneficial to my content, but
Okay, well
I
then F that then.
enjoy.
No, I just
I,
no.
I don't find it beneficial,
No.
but I enjoy being with my community. So
Yeah.
I have intertwined what I need to do as an adult into being with my community
Oh
still in a
gosh,
way.
adult stuff. Oh crap. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, no. There's.
Just being, I do not find it beneficial whatsoever.
Okay. Then
But
if
I
you.
enjoy being with my community and I
Yeah.
enjoy just knowing that they're hanging out in chat while I'm doing what I have to do.
Okay. So if that's the case, would you want to get rid of it?
The only reason I would say I won't get rid of it because if I get rid of that, that's less time I'm spending with my community.
Oh,
100%.
you could do it. You could do other things. Like you can um, create a Dead by Daylight dating story, or no,
If I
no.
have the time.
Um, no, I mean there's always something, but no, there's I mean this is like it isn't like, man, why do you choose this? No, it's like, no, this is it's really cool that you like um how, like, sometimes people could say the games that someone plays people play also speak to their personality. Not all the time, but like, you mixing things up by doing co-working, and you mentioned studying, doing homework while you're talking to the chat, playing some calm music, and then you're playing Silent Hill, and then you're playing Marvel Rivals, and then you're playing Life is Strange. Like all these things that you would say kind of make a significant impact to your experience as a gamer, or even as just as a creator.
um, say in the aspect part of it because 100% this is 100% true. Part of it is pulling in the content and the gaming stuff that in the moment is hype. It 100% it's going to be that always. But a part of it is also you wanting to be interested into it and showing your community what it's about because not only are you experiencing that new content but so is the people watching you. Obviously we all know some people kind of just want to vibe and lurk in the background, they don't want to get spoiled, But even knowing that someone is there, just like lurking in the background for you and in general, that makes the experience a lot more fun.
No, I totally agree. Totally agree. Um, uh, okay, let me just. How do you feel about using social media as a creator? So besides on Twitch, you're also using TikTok. You're also using YouTube. Do you, and you're even on Blue Sky. Do you see like all of the above, like all of these different platforms as a necessity, or like I just like doing it, but you don't really need it?
I definitely can say it's beneficial. It's 100% beneficial. My main platform outside of Twitch is actually Twitter. That's where a lot of my personal one-on-one social interactions are. But I also feel like TikTok and YouTube, that kind of also brings people into my streams more because of the content they see there. I've let's say one example I can say, I had someone come from Facebook just for me posting like in a group, and they enjoyed my content so much that very same day, not only did they follow, but they subscribed to my YouTube and they subscribed to my Twitch, and they was a consistent follower for a very very long time. As we all know, sometimes followers kind of just like disappear, they stop coming, and I do think about the person a lot and wonder if they're okay. But that was like a really good like first experience with someone, like knowing that they enjoyed the content and they were like happy to be there, and them just even subbing. A lot of people don't get that experience.
Okay, okay. Because some people say like, yeah, I got like a lot of followers because this one TikTok video, one TikTok clip that that I placed, it's got like 1,000 or 100,000 views or something. Um, uh, but some could say that maybe social media might be overwhelming to keep track of all these platforms. So, to avoid burnout, like what are some things that you like to do as a creator?
Me personally, I want to say, what I've done to avoid burnout is for my YouTube stuff. I thankfully they have this feature. I've always put things to be scheduled, so I just make like a crap ton of videos and everything, and I schedule those in
Right,
advance.
right.
For TikTok, TikTok is a little bit tricky. It's more so dependent on when I wake up. So I have it set on my phone. I have a page where I have it set that shows all the up times for TikTok postings. I will only post on TikTok if I'm waking up around an up time to post. That is the only time I'll post on TikTok. And me not posting sporadically on TikTok, I think me personally, it has worked. I've had 3, 4 videos gone viral to an extent, and I've consistently gotten about like between 500 and 1,000 views like per videos recently, just doing it the way I've been doing.
Okay. But I mean, I guess on the subject of burnout, like, because some people could say, well, that's true, but like, man, I don't want to overwhelm myself with having to keep up with all these platforms or having to post so many times. Like, how do you stop well, at least how do you make sure that this stays fun? Where this is just not tedious work or, however you want to say it.
Honestly, one week, like if I'm feeling overwhelmed and burnt out, one week I'll just go cold turkey. I won't post anything. I don't post nothing.
Mm,
I'll still interact with people like on Twitter, like to keep like the social interactions with people up to date and like still hang out in Twitch streams, but I won't post anything. I won't post a thing. Like
okay.
regarding like content.
Okay. No, I totally understand. Because there's like I can't even keep track. There's Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, um, Blue
Yeah.
Sky,
It's a
TikTok.
lot.
I don't know if Vine is still a thing. Probably not.
No, unfortunately,
No.
they got rid of it and they did not need to.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about how your success as a creator has also brought you to being a part of stream teams. As we mentioned before, Sisters of the Fog, Femme of the Fog. Um, how did all that come about for you?
So with both, it was more of a process of applications, and as we all know, stream teams have applications, and they ask a variety of different things. They ask your name, what kind of content you have, your age, if you're partnered, if you're not partnered, and one of the main things that a lot of applications ask is, what can you bring to the team? And one of the main things I always say is a welcoming space, someone who's open to playing with any and everybody, because at least from my experience, from what I've seen, a lot of people who play Dead by Daylight, not everyone, but a lot of people prefer to play with people who are skilled, know how to do like different techs, things like that. I play with anybody. I don't care. So I'm very welcoming. I'm open to playing with anyone, and I want to help provide a space where people feel welcomed and feel accepted and want to be like, hey, I want to play with you. I want to like make a new friend. I want to play DBD with you. I want to learn DBD because I also don't mind teaching people and helping people either. So I bring that stuff to stream teams, and that's kind of what I've like interest put in my applications for both teams. I am on the Femmes of the Fog stream team, and I actually am part of the leadership program in there, so I'm kind of help managing it to an extent. For Sisters of the Fog, I'm actually not on the stream team, but I am within the Sisters of the Fog community, and there is only a select few people within that community that are actually on the official Sisters of the Fog stream team. So I'm not on that stream team, but I am in the community.
For those who are not in stream teams, and they were to ask the question, well, what's the point of them? Like, what would you say?
I would say 100%. You have to go into it with two things on your mind. Number one, networking, because no matter what, this is always going to be a space where you have to network. Number one, and number two, beyond networking. So making genuine connections with people, becoming friends with people, and you don't have to necessarily be like the best of friends with people. You guys don't even have to be close, but it's just being a genuine person, being an open person, and being like, hey, I like your vibe. I like that we're into the same stuff. Let's have something more than just a networking type of friendship. You just have to be open, and you have to be friendly.
No, that's true. That's true. Um, but no, I'm at least I'm glad that it's gotten you to places like that. Because I've heard of Sisters of the Fog, and I think that's how I first even heard about you was through that organization. So there's a lot of good things that could be to it. Um, Now, with Twitch, at least Twitch has recently, not recently, but just as of like recent years, they've kind of held back, or they pulled back on the restrictions to multi-stream. What are your feelings towards being a streamer on multiple platforms, or do you consider yourself, I'm gonna stick with Twitch?
Me personally, as someone who has dabbled in multi-streaming with Twitter, not Twitter, with Twitch and TikTok, just from my personal experience, I feel like I mostly would love to stick with Twitch because obviously we all know Twitch can be sometimes a little bit iffy with like the restriction they put on things, but they are not as uptight and strict like TikTok. Any little thing will get you banned on TikTok, and I prefer on TikTok to only stream now separately from Twitch, and I don't do more than an hour and 30 minutes
Mm,
at
okay.
all. It's something I'm like probably do like randomly now, like on the fly, like hey, like I just did it a few days ago. I was doing some killer duels with one of my moderators, and I was like, I should stream on TikTok right now, right? He goes, yeah. So I just did it for the heck of it, and it did give me like I think like 4 or 5 new followers from it. But again, it's just something I would probably do like on the fly going forward. It's too strict on TikTok. There's
Uh,
too many limitations, and
mm,
it's honestly put too many content creators. who have been like innocent from what TikTok deems they did something wrong and have taken away their streaming privileges, wrongfully so.
Mm, 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 mm. So you're saying like America should ban TikTok?
Not at all. I enjoy my doom scrolling in the middle of the night when I'm sleepy.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, what? Well, I think isn't it like gonna be bought by Microsoft? Then you have to sign
I'm
into your
not even
Xbox.
sure what's going on with it anymore. All I know is I still have access to it, and as long as I can doom scroll happily, I do not care. I do not care.
You're gonna be waking up.
Oh, and as long as they don't send out my private data, whatever it is,
Oh,
don't do
well, all right.
that.
Well, there you go. That's.
Don't do that either.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, I don't know why I had a squeaky throat like that. Okay. So what's your life? Look at me with the squeaky now. I was like, so what's your life? Where did I get the? Oh no, I'm out of water. Okay, never mind. You know what? I'll just it's fine. It's fine. You know what? H2O. That's yesterday. No, no, no. Drink water. Drink water.
I have cranberry juice.
That's better. That's better. Cram those berries. No, it's. um. So what's your life like when you are not streaming? When you just turn off the camera and you just cut the stream. What is it like to be Ruby-chan?
What's it like to be me?
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy. We're gonna be really raw and honest here.
Okay.
When my camera's off, it's three things when my camera's off. Number one, the same shit I'm doing on camera, I'm probably doing off camera. That's probably possibility number one.
Okay.
Possibility number two, I am slaving at work.
Wait, you're slaving at work?
Slaving at work. I'm working hard.
Wait, are you
At
so
work.
so do you work at home or do you like is it like at a job or not a job?
No, I have a full-time job.
Not a job. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Is it like a work from home job or like a go to a facility type of job?
A go-to facility.
Okay. So you have to drive, you have to clock in, you have to see people.
No, actually, I'm very lucky. I live a 10-minute walk from my job.
Oh, well, you are lucky.
Yeah.
I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so I don't get that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. uh, but that's possibility number two. I'm
Okay.
working very hard at work when I'm not at home.
Okay.
And then number three, which is the very most annoying part, but it is also very real and very raw. I am dealing with toxicity of being a black woman in the content creation space. It's always one of those three things.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured that would be one of them. Do you feel like it's getting better?
No.
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 That's
If anything, I feel like it's getting worse. And it's not even because I'm like, it's stuff I see. I'm not personally going through it every day. I can say my personal experiences have gotten better.
okay.
But from what I'm seeing online, it's getting worse. In a general aspect.
Okay. Do you because I mean I can probably guess part of it is just also political wise of who's running the who's running the United States and all the stuff happening and the anti-DI BS. I mean I'm sure that's probably a part of it, but as far as in being a content creator, like do you is the very ridiculous hate that is very ridiculous does it prevent your enjoyment of having fun as a content creator or even overshadowing, the love that you do have, and the support you do have. Um, but sometimes it can be hard. I am autistic, and I'm not putting that on any level of anything, but I go online and I read so many autism jokes, or this person's dumb, so they're probably on the spectrum, like just basic BS like that. And I can only imagine how it could be for you.
Me personally, no. It does not overshadow or take away any love I have for content creation because
Yeah.
I went into this number one knowing, even if I wasn't one of those people that was gonna like turn out to be really huge and famous, there's always gonna be those trolls who are just gonna target anybody and anybody. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. So I already know coming into this, there was gonna be those people that were gonna try anything. And I've also kind of grown up on Call of Duty, so I'm used to this. I have thick skin, and I live
Oh,
in New York.
oh, Call.
None of this
Okay,
phases me.
okay, Call of Duty. Oh, and New
None of this
York,
phases me.
and New York. Okay, that's
None of this phases me whatsoever.
okay. You just had to say Call of Duty in New York. Then I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
get it. Do you feel like there's because I know you mentioned they're like most for the most part the Dead by Daylight community is welcoming. Do you feel like that bit of racism is also in Dead by Daylight as well?
Oh yes, 100%. I do.
Okay.
I've blatantly been told by a killer they totaled me out because I'm black. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In situations like that, do you like does because I think I've seen something similar in a not a in a different asymmetrical game. I think it was like called Killer Clowns of Outer Space, where
Mm,
a black creator I know was just casually playing the game, and then I guess a white gamer heard her voice and just decided to say some vile racist BS, to the point where it blew up, and even like the developers responded to it.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen that as well.
Wow, the world is so small. But
Yep.
uh, do you feel like when those moments happen, and of course they would happen, do you feel like they're called, is it Behemoth Studios? Is that the name of the people who work on Dead by Daylight? Are they called Behemoth or? Hold on, let me
Behavior.
Behavior. I get Behemoth and Behavior mixed up because there's two different. But do you feel like Behavior Interactive like does a good job at like taking steps to punish people from doing hate speech, or do you feel like there still needs work on that?
I honestly still I feel like there still needs they need to like step it up and there
Okay.
needs to be worked on. I can definitely say from because they had a really big announcement today regarding quality of life for the game and situations that are harmful, and it is definitely in a step in the right direction, but also at the end of the day it depends how they implicate it and how it's actually going to be factored into the game.
Okay. Yeah. Because I feel like that could probably like even every online live service game. That's just like how does the community even? So I'll name a game that I play a lot. I'm really into Halo, and they did a Black History Month thing, and like there was a backlash on it because DI or some BS. Um, do you like so if you had the power, like what would you want from Dead by Daylight? Let's focus on Dead by Daylight, then we focus on content creation. What would you want from Dead by Daylight or Behavior Interactive to make Dead by Daylight the game a more comfortable space for black gamers, especially creators?
Um, Honestly, it's a few focal points that I would suggest. Number one, I'm gonna be honest, when they do a lot of their like really big live streams, I always kind of see. the same white creators,
Okay.
unfortunately, and there are quite a few like Black Fog Whisperers that could be utilized a lot more in their streams. That's just number one. Number two would be better communication with the community. There have been many times I've seen someone address a very harmful situation, and people of the community have came together to, tag Dead by Daylight in behavior, and help push out to the algorithm like, hey, this is something that needs to be looked at. And behaviors, sometimes they do this thing where they kind of hint at things, but they don't necessarily speak on it. I feel like they need to just speak on it. And then number three, in general, just not even for the Black community, but just in general, implementing better rules to keep their player base safe. Like, I'm not sure if you know, but right now there's this really big thing in the game where killers are humping survivors on the floor.
Oh, okay.
And it's a lot of people have said it should be a bannable offense. There are people who have stated multiple times it makes them uncomfortable. They have had past PTSD and trauma from actually being sexually assaulted or raped. And it's something that needs to be looked at and shouldn't be done in the game. And while we obviously can't control what people do, it should be something that should be implemented where it should be bannable so people can be kept safe.
Of course. So, kind of moving from Dead by Daylight to content creation, let's just say Twitch. What would you want to see from Twitch to make it a better experience for Black creators, especially for you?
The first thing is stopping wrongful bans. Number one, I've seen many people get wrongfully banned. I've seen many people do so much worse things on Twitch, and people have done absolutely nothing and have gotten banned for it. So wrongful bans need to be stopped. Number two, they need to have actual people, real people, looking at reports, not automated bots with automated messages. I know everybody wants to focus on AI and whatever. We need real people to take a look at situations like this. And number three, giving a fair chance to every single person, no matter the report. Because a lot of times there will be big streamers who get wrongfully banned and it will get fixed like that. There are smaller creators who are getting wrongfully banned, and because they don't have any algorithm drive, they don't have huge supporters, they can't push out to the algorithm, hey, Twitch, I didn't do anything wrong. And then they sit there and they're banned for 7 days, 30 days, months, and nothing is done about it.
Okay. Um. Well, we can even like debate on whether or not they're going to do it. I think the best case scenario is to hope that they do. All of that being said, what are your current goals that you want to pursue? Despite all this, as a content creator.
My 100% main goal is to get a sponsorship for Razer. I love Razer products. Every
Okay.
one of my peripherals is a Razer product. This is a Razer mic. My keyboard is Razer. My camera is Razer. My chair is Razer. You can't see it though because I have my Udi on it. I love Razer, and I would very much love a sponsorship with them.
Okay. Well, you put in that in fruition that you'll get that sponsorship. I mean, look at how much you've grown. I think you'll be due for it. You'll be due for it.
I mean, I'm not gonna say too much, but I did get reached out to by
Okay.
the person who runs the Razer store Twitter.
Okay.
So fingers crossed that starts something. Maybe
Okay.
that's all I can say though.
Well, let's bet on the best things possible. Um, and I want to leave this on a positive note. Um, what is it about yourself that you're proud of?
The fact that no matter how many times my mental health has sucked doing this, and not because of all the shit I've gone through, but just streaming, life in general. No matter how much my mental health has sucked and tried to destroy me, I did not give up doing this. Again, it's not something I want to do as a career, but I never gave up doing what I love.
And I am so glad that you are continuing to do what you love. It's you deserve to do what you love. You are a beautiful human being who deserves the best things.
Thank
You have
you.
mind for yourself, no matter what the BS, no matter the racism, the whatever it may look in the world, is that you are having fun. The fair games, the fair community that you have grown with together, and you are gonna rock 2025, 2026, all the way. You're gonna rock. You're gonna somehow get the fountain of youth, and then just rock all the way to like the 26th century, and you're gonna be able to see robots. You're gonna see robots, and those robots are gonna say, "Wow, you rock." And they're gonna and they're gonna help you on your stream. They're gonna be in the background. They're gonna give you cue cards about like different sponsors, and then they're going to be like special guests. They'll play games with you. These robots that it totally exists. But
Well, look, as long as they fix any of my technology issues that randomly happen, and as long as they don't try to take over the world, I'm for it.
they might, but they'll spare you. But uh, oh wow! I just thought. Oh, sorry. I thought I heard like something in the background because I'm like looking. I'm like looking over there. Huh? Okay. Okay. And you know what? I'll throw this other thing. Would you ever cosplay as a Dead by Daylight character?
Oh, I've already done it.
You've already done it.
I've already done it.
Okay, as what?
I've cosplayed as Meg, I've cosplayed as Delita, as Sable, and as Elodie. And I have gotten recognition from Dead by Daylight themselves on
Okay.
my Meg cosplay and on my Sable cosplay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So you consider yourself a cosplayer? You go for it?
I want to. I definitely want to say like content creator, cosplayer, but living in New York, money be tight sometimes. So
Oh, there's
I do what I
conventions in New
can.
York. There's conventions in New York. There's
There is.
DreamCon.
There definitely is.
There's DreamHack. There's all these other places.
Yeah. But all that also does cost money for travel for the ones outside of New York. So.
Okay. Well, then that's where you do. You can do GoFundMe. Make a Trova trip. Go ahead. Go to Costa Rica.
But yeah, I would love to like be like a cosplayer for sure.
Well then, you definitely should. You definitely should. You know, March when people dress up as leprechauns or is there another or oh my god, it's no. You know what? Let me. I just lost my train of thought. No, no. What I'm about to say is we've hit our 1 hour. But Ruby, you are a beautiful human being, and I am glad to have spent this with you, and just even getting to know you as a creator. And
Thank you.
I look forward to everything great that comes from you, and I've been seeing like things that been popping out from you with social media, and looking you become this big, huge star. You're gonna do things with Corey Kenshin. You're gonna appear in the next. You're in the Dead by Daylight movie. You're gonna be in there. You're good.
Because I don't get hooked
The-
first. It's
um, but yeah, this concludes the Black Creator Spotlight for tonight. Usually these interviews are hour long, and I thank everyone for tuning in and having fun with us. And again, much thanks to my wonderful guest, Ruby Chan. And I'll go ahead and put her socials one more time. But yes, I do this as often as I can. But that's one of the things I tend to do here. So whenever I get a wonderful Black creator to spotlight, or even just bring a group of Black creators to do game nights with, just some very positivity. and or I role play or I play other games too. But tomorrow will be GTRP. And next guest, I'll announce that when I get all that together. But this VOD is
I
going
mean,
to
if
go.
you want some suggestions, I know a lot of really amazing Black content creators.
Okay, all right. Well, then we'll talk. We'll talk after this. But yeah. So this VOD right here will go live pretty much as this interview ends. So anybody who misses the interview, they can watch it anytime and clip it. But yes, that concludes for today. Let me see. Let me see who I can. Hold on. Let me see who I can. I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to another horror content creator. Celestial Horror, and go ahead and say hi to her. She's doing some just chatting streaming. We'll just go ahead and read out to her, and thank y'all for watching. Again, see y'all tomorrow, 6 or 7 p.m. CST. But anyway, till then, take care. There they go.
Her background is so cute.
Yeah, it is. So cute.
Oh my goodness. That's the thing I just